talk about variable arguments. So Java allows you to create methods that need to take a variable number of arguments. And this feature is called var args, as short for variable length arguments. And you can create methods that take var args with 3 dots, so 3 dot notation. So let's see this example. So a class called VA test that has a method called VA method takes integer data. So which means that it can take any length of arguments as integer. And then it is going to treat this as an array. Remember arrays from lecture 5. So this being an array, so we can access all the arguments by for loop. So for example, for each loop for integer x in data, print x. All right, so how do we call this? We can call this VA method with basically any number of arguments, 0, 1, as you can see here. We can call with 3 arguments, we can call with more arguments. So let's see more examples in the editor. Our calc class, as you remember, we had 2 add methods that were overloading each other. One would take 2 arguments and one would take 3 arguments. It's good, but notice that we can't just keep adding more variables if we needed to. You need the add function to add more numbers. Okay, so one way to do is create an int add same name that can take an integer dot, and we can call it data, we can call it v. Let's call it data. All right, so this function is going to, now since it can be any number of arguments which will be assigned data is an array. So as an array, we means access it as we do an array. So if I want to access this array and add every value, I can do that, but first I need a sum as an accumulator, which will be set to 0. Then I can say, so for, I can say integer v in data, basically value in data, and then I can say sum plus equal to v, and eventually I can return v. Here we go, and that's it. So now calling this, we can say Java C, and okay, so variable C calc, there we have a problem. We can't return v, we have to return sum, right? Looks good. And now what should I do is that I'm going to delete these guys. I'm going to delete all of them because I'm going to focus on only one function that will take TL, and I can say C dot add. Then I can add 1, 2, 3, and 4 arguments. Okay, so you should add them up and then return the sum to us. Let's give it a shot. I can say Java calc demo. Okay, so the sum is 10, which is correct. Now the only problem is what happens if I have 3 arguments. So do I call this one or do I call this one? So one way to find out is whether it works or not, and that's all we care, as long as we get the result we want. And in this case, I'm not sure whether it's going to call this or it's going to just but my assumption is that it will call this with an exact match. Okay, if any argument number that is not 2 or 3, this function will be called. Okay, we can go ahead and delete them for now, and then we can call 3, and we can see that one function can take both cases, can handle both cases.